Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
When we talk about the second level of the seek and ye shall find, or the three knocks, or what have you, you get to the second phrase, which is ask and it shall be given you. Now, this is a very, ironically, kind of a different take on the same kind of first process, which is seek and find, which is all happening kind of internally to you. It's your cognitive process. It's your refinement and definition. The ask and it shall be given to you automatically then implies that you need to interact or relate with the people around you, with somebody who knows more or somebody who has capacity or capability. It really demands, and the ask and it shall be given to you, it demands an interactive process with the other, whatever the other is, right? The other could be your neighbor, it could be a friend, it could be a guy in the lodge. It could be, the grand architect of the universe, whatever that kind of related interactive process, the ask and it shall be given to you, really is, again, strongly implies that there is somebody in a position of authority or power that you have to interact with to get kind of what you're looking for. And if you think about this, there's those situations in your life on a regular basis. There is always somebody kind of better at what you do, or better at what you're trying to learn, or an expert in this space. And when you start to interact with experts in this space, more than seeking, you have the beginning of a longer term relationship, the beginning of a back and forth that develops your sort of knowledge, skills, abilities, capacities over time. A mentor can be viewed in this ask and it shall be given to you role. When you begin this sort of dynamic where you are now moving from kind of this internal only observation and discovery process and into a more relational capacity, the nature of the knowledge changes, and the beginning of formation with kind of these related entities that are independent agents also happens. So you're really beginning the process of building that network, of building the sort of domain of expertise, the relatedness. And, again, it's kind of bizarre, right? It's all in the three knocks. It's not... this is something that we kind of do in almost all of our lodge functions, is we knock on the door 3 times, and yet it's kind of baked right in there, the entire process of this discovery. Now you couple this with the aprons, as we've discussed in the previous weeks, and all of a sudden this starts to get much more interesting and much more dynamic. So when, again, we look at this relatedness portion, understand that what you ask for also may not necessarily match what you are given. So you might find that back and forth process is also its own form of discovery, where your ideas and concepts about the way a certain piece of knowledge is laid out, or the way a technique is executed, or whatever it is you're trying to acquire, that this back and forth dynamic also, just like in the seek and find process, through that relatedness, now sculpts and crafts a new awareness about what you're trying to learn or what you're trying to discover. So as you're out trying to develop these, that relatedness and that sort of interactive process, be mindful of the notions of the questions you're going to ask in the beginning versus the questions you might ask later on in your development. This will help you track and connect with, in a more meaningful way, your sort of earlier beginner self versus your sort of more cultivated fellowcraft self, or what have you. And stay tuned, because we will be hitting the systemic understanding of the three knocks in the next episode.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.